This is Noel with HeyTX here. Now, I understand that the crypto world and Web3 can be a construct at times, kind of like in the 90s when all the internet companies were popping up. A lot of it was just an idea and sounded really foreign, to just the average observer back in the day. But look at where we are now. Today, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time just focusing on one of Handshake's use cases, that being using a Handshake name as login or using it as a username across a multitude of platforms and accounts across the entire internet right now. So that's why I want to spend some time. This is a follow-up video to the one I recently released on online identity. So if you want to look into what is possible with Handshake, check that video out. This is going to be diving a little bit more in, so that way you can really understand where we are today with logging into different accounts and websites, and where Handshake can bring us to, and some of those problems that we can solve. So to start off, before I get into using Handshake as a username, I want to review two different ways that we use log into online accounts today. The first of which is that we use just like a username. So that could be just a name that you come up with, for a particular website, or it could be your email or phone number in Amazon's case, and then a password. So that's really the traditional way to log into accounts. Now, in this scenario, a password manager can make things easier from having to remember all the different usernames and passwords, but there is a lot more responsibility and work involved. If one account is hacked, I think everybody here has had an account hacked before, even though it wasn't of their volition. But if an account is hacked, this could lead to your other accounts getting hacked if you use the same username or password. So we really want to prevent those issues. Now, if over the past few years something came up where you can do a single click click login with like a Google or a Facebook that can log you into a lot of different websites and accounts, and that's really convenient. It's really convenient and easy. I think we about all have either a Google account or Facebook account today, and it's really nice just to click on this button right here, and then it automatically logs you in, to whatever site. So the convenience is there. Most definitely the security is there for the most part. Having said that, a centralized entity is in control of your data and web experience here. So if you use Google to sign on or Facebook to sign on, they're going to be tracking your every move on LinkedIn. Of course, if you stay logged into these platforms, they're going to be following you across whatever websites you visit, whatever you end up searching on the web. They're going to know every bit of information about you. And they're, having them tracking your moves, and using your data, they're going to be exploiting you and others that you come across on the internet. So we really want to prevent those issues, which brings me to Handshake and what is possible here in the future. So here we have on Namebase. It's Namebase is kind of like the GoDaddy for Handshake names, as well as like a Coinbase, where you can buy HNS, which is the cryptocurrency, that really, allows you to be able to own your own top-level domain on Handshake's blockchain. Of course, with HeyTX, we try to make things really easy for people to get involved with the web. And so that's why you can just go ahead and own your domain, your .tx domain, without getting involved with interacting with the Handshake blockchain directly. But Namebase does a really good job at making it easy to interact with Handshake's blockchain. But anyways, here with Handshakes, you can read right here on the website, allows you to log into websites using your Handshake name without needing to store emails or passwords. So I would like to think of it as, it's the convenience that we're used to with like the single click login is very similar to that, along with, being able to retain your data, data ownership. Like there's also, privacy. You're going to be owning your data. No one is going to be tracking your moves, as well as security as well. Only you own your name. So it's never going to get hacked at all because you own kind of like the keys, to what is behind the name. And so no one can really, act like they're you. No one can just log into these different accounts you know if it is possible, to use a Handshake name to log into different websites and accounts. So to start off, and I'll share this blog and everything, so that way you can kind of look into it and really try it out yourself. But for the time being, Handshake does, or Namebase does have the ability to log in with your Handshake name, which is really what I want to show you. It's on like a kind of like a blog forum called Namer News. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now, this is kind of talking to your, like showing you your identities, that you're going to have access to. So let's say I own null.tx and hey.tx. It could be, for you, it could be your name.tx or your business.tx. And we want to, I would try to imagine this as logging into like an Amazon in the future, or a LinkedIn or a Twitter, one of these normal websites that we're used to today. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how easy it is to do this if you have your own name.tx. So we'll just do that. I'm going to make it a little bit more fun and do an emoji to log in. I have this Handshake name. It's kind of like kind of like a little symbol for hey TX. And so you see, I just went ahead and did that. I'm going to, continue to Namebase. A Namebase has kind of like the record that I own that name. Of course, there's different ways to go about this, but this is just to set it up here too. So it's going to be a lot easier once you have it set up. But anyway, so now you can kind of see I already set up this identity here. I'm going to go ahead and this is the Namer News forum. I'm going to go ahead and log in with the Handshake name. And so that way you can kind of see how easy it is. And now, as you can see up here, you can see I'm logged in as my my emoji, which is really cool. This is my first time logging in here. And as you can see, others are logged in either with a top level domain. So Tia Shun, he's the CEO and co-founder of Namebase. You can see he owns his own name. Or you can see this is very similar to .tx. So Namebase also owns Namebase, the top level domain. And then Johnny, who's a community manager at Namebase, you can have kind of like a second level domain. And that's what I mean by you can own own a second level domain on .tx. But as we can just kind of go in here and you can see everyone else owns their own name and they used their username to log in, to the Namer News forum. But I can just go ahead and type in a message here, howdy y'all. And then now you can kind of see that's me right now. But anyways, I just wanted to show you all that. Hopefully it gives you a little bit more of a visual. I know this is still in the early stages, but hopefully this paints a picture of what's to come for using names that you own across different platforms. Now, this is still experimental stages, but there are a lot of possible integrations in the future. So Twitter has been working on creating a decentralized version of itself called Blue Sky. And so here's a 60-page research paper that was published, I believe, in the last year or so. And it really is, it really studies different ways to bring about kind of like a decentralized social media platform, which is now known as Blue Sky. So it's looking at the entire decentralized web stack, and Handshake being one of them for usernames. But I'll link this in the description as well. You can kind of see here Jay Graber was like the main author, and you can kind of look at who contributed to it. But you can kind of see here with the blockchain identity systems, Handshake is a blockchain designed for allocating ownership rights to top level domains. And so as you can see here, it can easily be implemented, with Blue Sky. I would like to add, that the leader, here's Jay Graber, just recently announcing this past month that, they're going to be leading Blue Sky to, in order to decentralize social media. I do want to mention that Jay is a part of a Handshake Telegram community. Is, as you can see, they're the ones that mainly wrote that research paper, included Handshake. They're part of the Handshake community, and there's a pretty good chance that Handshake names are going to be used to log into Blue Sky whenever it is launched at some point. So that's really exciting. And the reason why I'm optimistic, I've been involved with hundreds of different crypto projects, participating in test nuts, dating back over the past 8 years or so. Primarily getting interested in Web3 since 2017. And, I've participated along the way in quite a few projects and been a part of them. Nothing is quite like Handshake. It's really the first project that I see that has a true chance of being integrated with our current internet and being adopted. As Handshake is native to the internet and knows no borders, I do believe that the Handshake protocol is likely to be adopted across the entire web, including all of your accounts that you use today. Remember, there's no one that's behind Handshake, no company, no foundation. Namebase is just building their business on Handshake. ATX is doing the same. It's really amazing. And I really do believe, and there's so many other passionate community members, I believe that the possibilities are endless, that we can be able to integrate across the entire internet in the coming years. You just have to believe, and you have to, take ownership, and that's really what we're doing here. But I just wanted to share that all with you, that Blue Sky and so many other integrations are popping up, every single day, and that the future is bright. And, like null.tx or, yourname.tx will be used to log into social media, e-commerce, financial, gaming platforms, and more. So there are no limitations. And as you can see, this is just going to create a lot better user experience. And this is just one of the many use cases that Handshake names can bring. But just in this one example, you can see how you're going to retain ownership of your data, privacy, security, and convenience. So I think that's a 10x better than what we have now with logging into different accounts and everything. But that's all I wanted to share in this video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. We really want to get the word out and make the internet a better place, make the world a better place, and it really starts with the .tx community. Take care, y'all, and see you later.